Over and over again, we continue to hear stories of how God has been faithful. And it all started back in 1971.
We met in a resource room, and we were all jam-packed in there. It was August, hot. And they had huge, big fans up and down the aisles. It was so exciting, even for us as 12-year-olds, to go on that Sunday. And really, we could see what God was doing clearly, even though we were so young. People, they jumped in, they did everything. You didn't have to ask people to work. They were there ready. The main reason, the stability of our church, why it has gone so well, because people decided we're just going to move forward and let God lead us and direct us. And it was exciting, fun, thrilling time.
I'm so thankful for the folks who had the courage in 1971 to step into what God had planned for them. And here we are, continuing to hear the stories of God's faithfulness.
My daughters and I started coming here in January of 1987 because I had heard the fantastic youth programs that were at this church. And it was through WACC that they got the experience of Hume Lake. Our grandchildren have grown up here, and it's just been a great experience for multiple generations. It's really been a joy and a blessing being a part of this church family of all the different generations, and I love the way that all the generations work together. I just love seeing VBS and being involved a little bit. It's just so much fun and so rewarding.
I've always felt that, I need to be an active part of the church that I'm attending. I've ushered for probably 25 years or so, and I became a lay chaplain probably about 3 or 4 years ago, and I took a spiritual gift survey and realized my gifts were in the area of helps, and so I thought that this would fit really good with my giftedness, and so it's been a real blessing. I've had situations that were far bigger than I thought anything I could handle, but God's been super faithful in providing the words and just the comfort that's needed in situations that are very sometimes difficult to deal with. We're the body of Christ, and if we look around, that there are so many parts of the body that are hurting, and there are some of us that are just equipped to help others in certain areas. Like some of us are great at working with children. Some of us are great teachers. Some of us just have the gift of helps like myself and can come alongside and just be there, be a friend. My son Todd probably wouldn't be in ministry if it wasn't for the ministry of Whittier Area and the personal attention that they gave to him. Our son Brett is on the mission field with his wife Chrissy, and my daughter and her husband are still here and very much involved, so my grandchildren as well. And this church has had a tremendous impact in our lives, and we're thankful for it.
One of the beautiful things about this church that my wife and I, when we first started coming here, really appreciated was the fact that you were kind of nudged into doing something with your faith. And I think that's critical. When we first heard about going to Malawi, it's just amazing at how much people teach you and how much you learn to appreciate God and His love for not only you, but for the whole world.
In 2006, our church was challenged to build a children's ward in a hospital. When the final count was revealed, our congregation raised over $500,000. We called it the Malawi Miracle. We had enough to build the ward, to fully equip it, to even staff it. And each year, VBS, the children are given the opportunity to bless people in Malawi. And we've raised enough money for wells, for classrooms, for goats, for solar-powered irrigation pumps.
I encourage everyone here at WACC to continue to use their gifts, go out and help people, go out and see the world, and God will teach you through it and bless you, and it's incredible.
I I'm so grateful to be part of a congregation that is willing to be the hands and feet of Jesus to other people in other parts of the world.
We got here to WACC about 5-6 years ago. We were meeting at a church in Rancho Cucamonga. My son and daughter kept growing up. It kept getting harder and harder to be so far from home when they needed to do homework. Our children were invited by other children from the community to come to FAD and other things at church, and they really, really loved it. That completely moved our hearts, and we said, we're gonna commit to go to an English-only speaking church, although my wife and I, we both prefer Spanish. And that led to us, about 2.5 years ago, well, let's try to ask the church, do they have something in Spanish? And perhaps we don't know. So I approached Pastor John. Maybe a month from there, I was up in a room in the second floor by the sound booth in the community center translating to my wife and a few others who were testing the new equipment the church had provided us. I was completely surprised when we made the call for volunteers. About 12 or 15 people showed up to say, hey, I want to help. And we started having greeters in Spanish. We were just moved and blessed by the generosity of the church. Some of the messages we started hearing from people was like, we used to drop off grandma at a Hispanic church, but now she comes to church with us. Or husbands and wives, they were going to 2 different churches, and now they can come to church together. And that was like a fuel that motivated us to continue to serve. And we have seen the great blessing that this ministry had brought to our community. It has completely changed our lives. And I want to give glory to the Lord that we can call WACC our home church and do it in our language. It's such a blessing.